I, Damon G. Tyner,
I, Damon G. Tyner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will perform the duties
and that I will perform the duties
of Judge of the Superior Court
of Judge of the Superior Court
faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly,
and justly,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Amen.
I invite Judge Tyner to join us at the front bench. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Judge Damon Tyner.
Is really easy because, Judge, you've accomplished what all young attorneys and old attorneys set out to do. We have the highest respect for the bench, and it's not easy to get there. So congratulations, I know you're going to do a great job. And on behalf of the Cape May County Bar Association, congratulations on your judgeship.
Thank you. On behalf of the Atlantic County Bar Association, I'd like to invite the President, Samantha Moore.
Good afternoon, everyone, judges, dignitaries, to the friends and family of Judge Damon Tyner. My name is Samantha Wolf. I'm the president of the Atlantic County Bar Association, and it is with great honor and privilege that the Atlantic County Bar Association is invited to participate and welcome Judge Tyner onto the bench. I can speak as a member of the family or matrimonial bar that I can say that I hope Judge Tyner will continue with the compact that we have had between the bench and the bar of an open policy of communication. And remember, Judge Tyner, that the matrimonial bar, we're the friends, not the enemy. So, I was at as an Atlantic County Bar Association rope runner, and perhaps you'll have a more distinguished. So, congratulations.
I advise you become a physician.
Thank you, Judge Garofalo. And now, a remark.
Well, thank you, everyone. Senator Whalen, Judge Mendez, my new colleagues of the First Vicinage, and all of our honored guests, all of you. I am so humbled to stand before you, having the privilege to serve our community as a judge of the Superior Court of New Jersey. And, you know, it's interesting. I wish I could take all the credit for deciding to have this event here. But I'm going to admit, Judge Mendez, it was actually his idea. He said, you know, I really want to take your swearing in into the community. Is there a school that you have a relationship with? And immediately, you know, this will forever be the West Side Complex. But it will always be the West Side Complex. And because of all the history that we've had here in this building. We certainly have to give credit to Judge Mendez for making the suggestion, and I'm so happy that he did, and piqued my interest in doing it here, because it's very memorable already. You know, this is an interesting process, going through the application process, going through the Senate Judiciary Committee. And during the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator O'Toole asked me, he said, was I happy that I lost my assembly race? Totally by surprise, but while I wouldn't say that I was happy, it is clear after seeing all of you here today that if even half of you would have voted for me, I really might have messed it up. But that's water under the bridge. As I indicated, this venue has played, as you've heard other speakers say, so many significant moments in my life. When it opened in 1976, as you know, it was the West Side Complex. Little did I know that my future mother-in-law, Elaine Milan, was a kindergarten teacher here in this very building while I was in the first grade. That September, I started the first grade, and I would spend nearly, even though I ultimately transferred to Indiana Avenue School, I would spend nearly every day during the school year here with the recreation programs, with basketball, swimming. As Senator Whalen indicated, I mean, that's where I met everybody's favorite swim teacher in 1976, Mr. Whalen, who would become Councilman Whalen, who would then become Mayor Whalen, and you guys all know the rest. But it really forged a relationship between he and I as teacher and student, ultimately as mentor, as running mate, and it's literally a 40-year friendship that has evolved over the years, much like many of the relationships with all of you throughout this entire room. We've all picked up at different stages of my life, but I've really appreciated the ability to maintain friendships and grow them. And I want to thank all of you for coming out today to bear witness to this event, because it's really a testament between the relationship that I have with each and every one of you. This speech will invariably consist of a bunch of thank yous, because when I look around the auditorium, as I indicated, all of you have been here for me in some type of way. But let's get some of the administrative stuff out of the way first. I want to thank Governor Christie, Senator Sweeney, Senator Scutari and the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senators Van Drew, Connors, and Adiego, who also have a bit to say in these proceedings and in these appointments. But most of all, Senator Whalen, thank you for seeing my nomination through from the infancy through to the end. And as some of you might have heard, or some of you know, in the interim over the past 2 years, I served as an administrative law judge. And, you know, admittedly, 2 years ago when that process started, you know, I was a little disappointed. But as I spoke with Senator Whalen, as I spoke with my wife Nicole, as I spoke with a good friend, Judge Persky, you know, we decided at that time that if I needed to prove myself in a different venue, then I would do it. And I believe that today is the fruition of that hard work, which will continue in the Superior Court. And I'm just very thankful that you stood by me throughout the process. And it's a little bit unfair to the Office of Administrative Law, because as Senator O'Toole indicated in that same proceeding, he said, well, actually that job is harder than the Superior Court. Right, Judge Miller? But because it has different requirements. But you know, we traveled that road and we got here. So I do want to thank all of those involved in that entire process. Unlike Joe Torre, I will not forget George Steinbrenner, Judge Gorman. So I want to start off by thanking my wife Nicole and our children Chelsea, Chloe, and Nicholas for all the sacrifices that they've made throughout my career and throughout this process. When public service is a part of your life, so many times families get overlooked. And just ask my children what it's like to go shopping with me at ShopRite on a Saturday. It's not a short trip. It's not a short trip at all. As to Nicole, many times she's placed her career on hold or even abandoned certain opportunities to enable me an opportunity to pursue things that I've wanted to do with my career and my life. And I really do appreciate you know, all of the support that she's provided with me. Everyone's heard the story. Yes, we met here at the Westside Complex at a basketball game that fateful day, June 28, 1987. And 10 years, the date is seared in my mind because 10 years to that date, we were married. And after 27 years together, I think she knows a little bit about me, and I think she decided to keep me after all this time. To Nicole, I'm very thankful for you, and I look forward to returning the favor of supporting you in all of your career endeavors as you pursue your doctorate. So let's give a round of applause. I was really happy my brother Clayton was able to give his swearing-in speech today, since he gave it in Indiana. You know, he can't thank all his mentors. Proud of the son returns home. But no, that was, he hit the nail on the head. All of the folks that have played such a tremendous role in our lives to get us to this point. First of which are our parents, you know, the late Hank Tyner and my mom, Bea. My mom was unable to be with us here today. 10 weeks ago, it's been a tough year for her. And she has Alzheimer's disease. And 10 weeks ago, when she was released from the hospital, they said that she had 5 to 7 days to live. And it was a really tough time for our family. And 10 weeks later, she's here stronger than ever, and she is has a remarkable story of strength and fortitude that she instilled in Clayton and myself and all of our brothers and sisters. My brother Michael, my sister Cheryl, my sister Lynn, who's here today, and all of our other siblings. Her strength and intelligence and her commitment to education is the primary reason why we're here, why we were able to achieve things that we've been able to achieve in our life. And their ability to develop such a great family support system. And it's so important. And I look out amongst the family and friends section. You know, we just had so many great family friends that created, that helped. I look at my Aunt Dee Campbell, Dr. D. I can't forget your role in this school. She's the former assistant superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. She spent a great deal of time in this building with us as well. My Uncle Frank, just so many people that when they look back on this day, that I want them to take credit for their participation in our success, because I really am grateful for all that you've done for us throughout the years. Next, I would like to thank all of my siblings formally. I am the youngest of 10, and we have like a little bit of a, I won't say convoluted, but kind of a Brady bunch. Mom was a widow with 5 children. She was 29 years old. My dad was a divorcee. They got together. I was the only child born of that union. And I am very fortunate because my 9 older brothers and sisters all really took an interest in me and my success, and they fought over who would watch me. And after all of that stuff, they would say, well, Damon's spoiled. Spoiled. Damon had an opportunity to see all of your mistakes. Particularly my brother Mike. But we were really able to form relationships with one another, and each and every one of them, my sister Cheryl, each and every one of them had a part in forming the person that I ultimately became, and that includes abandoning my brother Clayton's advice to become a doctor. He was tough on me. He was tough. He did not want me to go to law school, Judge Garofalo. When we owe credit to Judge Gruccio for putting me together with Judge Garofalo. He was the dean of students at Widener Law School, and when I was there, he said, you know, he was a real big proponent of the judicial externship program. And when I got to Widener, he said, we got to hook you up with a judge in Atlantic County. And he said, I know the person for you, Al Garofalo. So I go and I visit for the judicial externship with Judge Garofalo. And it was a great interview, and basically said, well, if Gruch says you're good, you're good. And that was it. And that was it. That was the beginning of a relationship in which I did a judicial externship for credit that semester, and then came back and he hired me for the year after I graduated law school. And this is what our Monday consisted of in that year.
Careful.
But this is what it consisted of. You know, I don't like this Andy Reid. He passes too much. I don't understand how they're ever going to be good. So this is our Friday. Did you see Seinfeld last night? What's up with this Costanza guy? But in between all of those conversations, as Judge indicated, we had, it was such a learning experience for me to get the insight of someone who was a great, some would say legendary trial attorney, and the decisions and how they were actually made. And as Judge said, I never practiced criminal law a day in my life after I left his clerkship, but never hesitated to give him a call to talk to him because I just valued the way he approached his decision-making process, the way he how he would consider people and the impact that his decisions would have on people. And after that clerkship, it was very, very, very clear to me that I knew I wanted to ultimately ascend to this position and follow in his footsteps, because we handled some very, very difficult cases that year. And in the context of what we were doing, our first daughter, Chelsea, was born. But I don't know if many of you remember, but back in 1997, there was a rash of infanticide cases in Atlantic County, and there were about 3 or 4 that appeared before Judge Garofalo, where young mothers, for whatever reason, abandoned their children shortly after birth. And these were good families. Their decisions spanned all ages, race, socioeconomic factors, and the way he approached these issues just really had a lasting impact on me. And for that, I'm just very, very thankful to Judge Garofalo for the mentorship, for the training, and for teaching me how to approach legal issues. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I would be remiss if I didn't thank, the Atlantic County Bar has been very, very good to me. But I would really, really be remiss if I didn't thank, the first people that ever gave me a job. Lloyd Levinson is here today, and Lloyd hired me as a clerk at Cooper Persky, then Cooper Persky, now Cooper Levinson. And the opportunity that I had to work with him, and Jerry Quinn, and Lou April, and so many other fine attorneys at that firm gave me another foundation to which I could build upon. And I'm gonna, thereafter, Jack Clacker, who's here today, saw the wisdom that Lloyd had and said, I gotta get this guy. So he persuaded me to move over to Fox Rothschild, and all of these people, these Jack Clacker, Lou Aprils, Lloyd Levinsons, these guys had such an impact on my career at an early age, at an early stage in my legal career, that they say imitation is the best form of flattery. Well, if I make a bad decision, then credit it to Lloyd, credit it to Jack, because I've imitated many of the things that they've taught me. And I would also be remiss, although, I went to Cooper's office first, I stayed the longest at Fox Rothschild, and I see a lot of my colleagues back there from Fox Rothschild, from Dan Ozerkis and Jack and Michael Viscount and Eric Wood and Pete Sarkos, all folks that really, really helped me throughout the years. And I'm really thankful for the relationships that we had, that we developed, and that you provided me, the opportunities that you provided me with over the years. So for that, I'm also thankful. Later in my career, prior to becoming a judge of the Office of Administrative Law, I finished up my legal career at Parker McKay, and I couldn't have worked with 2 finer lawyers than Phil Norcross and Frank Cavallo, who's also here today, as well as Fred Cerny, and our crack paralegal Terry Conklin, who's out here today. They, we got together at a different stage in our career, and it was a building stage, and they just were really phenomenal lawyers that once again, I'll tell you in a minute, if I make a bad decision, it's Frank Cavallo's fault. It's all Frank. If someone Judge, so remember that. Call Frank Cavallo and I don't do something, you know, I'm supposed to.
Don't blame me, that's. Damon, I want to remind you there's a piano there.
Okay,
And
but
in the Oscars, sometimes they play the piano.
I am going to wrap this up because if it was Judge Garofalo inspired me to want to be a judge, and I truly mean this. It was Judge Todd Miller and Judge Bruce Gorman who taught me how to be a judge. For the past 2 years in working with these gentlemen, they have a reputation as being the Oscar and Felix of the Office of Administrative Law. And, you know, just stand up, guys. Come on, stand up. On the face of it all, they couldn't appear to be more different, but at the end of the day, once again, they approach their work and their legal decisions with such compassion and with such intelligence. And I'm thankful that for the past 2 years, you know, that I had an opportunity to learn at their feet and take what I've learned over to the Superior Court. And after a couple of weeks of training, of mentoring with my new colleagues, you know, I've been able to go onto the bench and assume a full docket, and I credit that to the experience that I received in the Office of Administrative Law, and specifically the training that I received from Judge Miller and Gorman. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So let's get a party started.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for all the roles that individually each of you have played in my life. And, go Eagles.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this wonderful ceremony.
It's not good.